Hello. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Kate and I love books. Thank you for clicking on this video if you did. If you want to like or subscribe if you're so inclined, it does help as I grow this channel, which has been lovely. But let's get into it. When I tell you I have tried to film a 24-hour reading vlog about 3 times in the last 3 months, I have half-finished drafts saved in my files and it's just, they're cursed. These are cursed to me. I never finish them. But that's what we're going to try today. We're going to try and break the curse. I feel like sometimes I just set the timer and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh, I don't want to read, or I feel almost like I have to read quicker and then I don't absorb or enjoy the books as much. So instead of how much can I read in 24 hours, we're going to do how much do I read in 24 hours. And there is a difference. There is a difference. So that's the plan for today. And to start that, we are going to read This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abesekera. This is a Canadian author. It was highlighted on the Indigo page with like the little Canadian sticker. So I did pick this up and I'm very excited to give it a go. I believe it's a ancient Rome inspired kind of romantasy. It is in the adult section. It says fiction, fantasy and dark fantasy. So I'm assuming there's some darker elements in here, but let's read the blurb. 18-year-old Sarai doesn't know why someone tried to kill her 4 years ago, but she does know her case was closed without justice. Hell-bent on vengeance and now a pet editor, a prosecutor who can magically detect lies, she returns to the scene of the crime, assigned to work with Tetrarch Kadra. Ice-cold and perennially sadistic, Kadra is the most vicious of the 4 judges who rule the land Verdinier, and the prime suspect in a string of deaths identical to Sarai's attempted murder. Certain of Kadra's guilt, Sarai begins a double life, solving cases with him by day and plotting his ruin by night. But Kadra is charming, and there's something alluring about the wrath he wields against the city's corruption. When she finds evidence that embroils her in a deadly political battle, Sarai must also fight against her attraction to Kadra, because despite his growing hold on her heart, his voice matches the only memory she has of her assailant. So we're going to start with that. I don't know if you can see the cover with the beautiful red design in the hand. I love this. That's what we're gonna do today. I kind of want to just read this all in one go. It doesn't look like there's any maps, but there is a glossary and some runes in the back, which is very cool. You can see that. That's exciting. And it's just over 400 pages. So I just kind of want to sit and like read a book in a sitting. We're gonna give this a go. We're gonna set the timer and hopefully this will actually come and see the light of day. I hope someone's watching this. I hope someone sees this. Let's jump in. Okay, you know how I said I wanted to just sit down and like read a book in one sitting? I fell asleep. I had a good 2.5 hour nap, about 15 minutes into the timer, so we're gonna try again. I'm a sleepy girl. This is why I'll never do one of these challenges and actually stay up for 24 hours, because this is what would happen. I wouldn't finish a single book, I don't think. Well, maybe. Anyways, I fell asleep, so we're gonna try that again. Okay, I'm about 100 pages in and I won't lie, the first sort of chapter, I was like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm loving this. I'm absolutely hooked. It is an ancient Rome inspired fantasy and the storytelling and setting and the like world building is really beautiful. The writing is stunning. I will say the dialogue is a little bit hit or miss. But like the writing is beautiful. This is my kind of, I love this. But yes, it is a fantasy and there's obviously magic involved, but there's an element that is reminding me of some of the dark academia type of books that I've read. And I'm not sure if it's the sort of mentor-mentee relationship that is being established, and then there's also like a mystery that they're working on solving, and it's got a somewhat academic route with like lore, not super dark academia, but there's a few bits where I'm like, oh, this sort of reminds me of like the exorcism of fairies or Nocticadia, which I love. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I'm absolutely enraptured. I wish I hadn't fallen asleep earlier so that I could have just sat and read this in one sitting, because I will be falling asleep at some point tonight and I don't want to. I just want to keep reading. We have 22 hours, 23 minutes and 22 seconds left on the timer, so we'll keep going with that until I fall asleep, I guess. But this is hitting the spot, guys. I'm enjoying it. There's like touches, there's little crumbs being left about what sort of like romance might be established, and we love a little morally grey MMC, so I'm sure that will be interesting as it goes. I haven't really been in a big romance or like romantasy, just not interested at the moment, so we'll see. This one could be what breaks that spell, so let's keep going. We'll do a check-in. I have just over 19 hours left on the timer. We have 85 pages left in this one. I'm really enjoying it. Kind of what I was saying earlier. It's definitely a fantasy setting, fantasy writing with the sort of structure of a dark academia kind of vibe, and I'm loving it. It's just that macabre, gritty mystery with the mentor-mentee element. It's also got the kind of like politics and messiness of like a classic fantasy. I'm loving this. I am loving this. And there is a slow burn background romance, which is like, the writing is deeply romantic, but there hasn't been any spice so far. It's very much a slow burn, which I'm living for. Like the embers are crackling and I'm just, the tension is perfect, but it's not the priority. The priority is definitely Sarai's story and her quest for justice, and it's wonderful. I'm loving it. I feel like I'm reading it right now in August, but this is probably a perfect autumnal read. Just that sort of darker fantasy element. Would recommend so far. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe the last 85 pages will change my mind, but I highly doubt it at this point. Probably finish this one tonight and then start the next one and see how far we get on the timer. My storage filled up just as I was finishing that book, and I didn't realize I'd just like set the camera up and it just stopped in the middle of my finishing it. So I did have some reactions to show you that are gone, but we've finished the first book, This Monster of Mine, and honestly I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think this could be read as a standalone. Also, I did say that it wasn't spicy earlier. I was incorrect. There was a little bit of a spicy payoff near the end there. The slow burn had its moment. I really enjoyed this. I think it could be read as a standalone. There is kind of a setup for another book, but I'm thinking it's going to be a sort of interconnected series with different character focuses, which I will be reading. Beautiful writing, a little bit like awkward dialogue, but it's fine. Quite a bit of like inference and nuance in the writing of things that you're kind of reading between the lines, which I like. Really interesting dynamics. I thought there was a lot of touching on like kind of that trauma and loneliness piece, but also relationships, not just romantic, but the friendships that were written in this were so hard to read. just interesting. I'm interested to see if there will be a continuation of any of that in further books, but I don't really have my hopes up, and I think it ended the way it needed to. This was awesome. Awesome. We have 17 hours, 54 minutes and 28 seconds left on the timer. So I think that the next book we're going to read is Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. This has been on my list for a while. I've wanted to read this for ages, but I did wait until my mum and dad brought back the UK covers because I really don't like the Canadian covers. So I had a list of the books that I wanted in the UK cover when they went on their holiday earlier this year. So let's read the blurb. I believe this is kind of like a gothic YA fantasy, I think. Orphaned as a child, Signa Farrow has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth and her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her only remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living at Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. When a restless spirit appears proclaiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes the Hawthorns could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. But Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself. And as the mystery unfurls, Signa realizes their growing connection may be more irresistible than she dared imagine. I think this will be the next book. How many pages are there? I think this is almost the exact same number of pages. 403. How many was this? 403. That's funny. I'm assuming I'll probably fly through this one a little bit quicker as it is YA, but you never know. I could be wrong. So I'm going to shower, get ready for bed, and just sort of unwind for the evening. But when I start this, I'll obviously take you along. Guys, I don't think I've checked in for this entire book. I'm on page 260. But I will say, so the first line really got me from chapter 1. Sorry, my dad is singing in the background, if you can hear that. It says, it's said that 5 belladonna berries are all it takes to kill someone. And it's just, this is so cool. Like, our main character Signa is sort of like immune to death, but also can converse with death, and then ends up kind of like they're solving a mystery together about her family members. Can you hear that? But I'm loving this. It's so gothic, such a good vibe. I kind of wish I'd saved this for Halloween, but I'm also so glad that I'm reading this. I love this. And we do have 14 hours, 43 minutes left on the timer. So I do have to finish this timer like relatively soon. I'm supposed to post on Friday and it's Wednesday. So we might be pulling a late night and going for some other books, but so far I'm loving this. And the writing is really striking and beautiful. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Just wanted to check in. Haven't done that yet. Literally the exact same thing happened where my phone died just as I was finishing the book, so I don't actually have the clip of me finishing the book. But we finished! And then I proceeded to sleep for about 12 hours. I still have, I think it's just over 13 hours left on the timer. I don't have it with me right now. We have just over 13 hours left on the timer, so I think today is going to be like, let's just see how much we can get done. Just literally like knock out some books. I've never really just sat and done that for a day, so we'll see how that goes. But this was 4.5 stars. I loved this. This was such a, like, I wish that you'd seen my face as I finished, because there was just such a lovely like twist at the end that you're like, ooh, ready for the next one. And I loved that there were quite a few little twists and things thrown in there. A few of them I did know that they were coming, a few were shocks, so it was just fun. It was just a good grand old time and I loved it. So yeah, second book done. Oh, it's been over a week I think since I started. It's been about a week since I started this video. Like I said, these videos are cursed. What should we read next? Okay, these were the three I pulled. So I've got Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno-Garcia, and Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I think these two start a new series and this one is a standalone. I don't know what to read. I kind of want to do a standalone. Let's do Gods of Jade and Shadow. And let's see what this one is about. It says, a young woman and a Mayan death god embark on a life-changing journey in this one-of-a-kind fairy tale inspired by Mexican folklore. The Jazz Age is a time of daring dances and fast music, but not for Cassiopeia Tun. She is stuck in her dusty small town, performing menial chores until the day when she opens a curious wooden box and accidentally frees an imprisoned deity. In the company of the strangely alluring god and armed only with her wits, Cassiopeia begins an adventure replete with malicious ghosts, shape-changing sorcerers, and powerful magic. Her cross-country odyssey will take her from the jungles of Yucatan to the bright lights of Mexico City, and deep into the darkness of the Mayan underworld. I've actually never read a Silvia Moreno-Garcia book, but I think this one was highly recommended by Erin. There's quite a few books on her backlog, I guess, at this point that I'd like to read. So this is 334 pages, and I think a nice standalone will be good for the vibe right now. So I'm gonna get dressed and ready for the day, and then we're just going to sit and read. And I'll obviously take you along. Guys, I give up. This is a 24-hour reading vlog fail. I can't do this anymore. I said these are cursed. I have read less this week than I have in a month because I've just been fixated on the timer, and I don't know what that is in my brain. I wish maybe I should just try and do it in a weekend or something, or over the course of a day one time. I don't know. I'm done. This video was supposed to go up 2 days ago and I didn't finish it, obviously. So I think I'm just gonna finish reading this book. I'll keep you updated, but we're not gonna do the timer anymore. I just don't read as much when I'm timing myself, and I will one day figure out what that is. But for now, we're just gonna say this was an unsuccessful 24-hour reading vlog because I do need to keep putting videos out, and I just haven't been reading, so keep reading this. I'm how far in? I'm 75 pages in, and I'm really liking it. I really like the writing. The structure's very satisfying. It is a fantasy sort of concept, or an urban fantasy concept, I guess. Kind of. But then it's also it kind of reads more like the structure of a fiction novel, which I like, just a general fiction. I'm enjoying it. I like Cassiopeia as a character. I'm intrigued to see where she goes. We're getting kind of different POVs as well, so far so good. Very atmospheric. Whoops. Okay, I just finished filming my August reading wrap up. That's already out. I edited it. It went up today. I was so behind. I'm scatterbrained. We're having a great... We're not very structured right now, and that's not fun. But we are going to finish this today if it is the last thing I do. I have about 115 pages left. We're going to finish it. We are going to finish it. If this is your first experience of a reading vlog of mine, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I usually don't do these types of reading vlogs very intentionally but I haven't been reading. I've been trying to time myself, which is just a recipe for disaster. My other reading vlogs I think are pretty okay. This is a mess, but it's gonna go up. We're gonna be transparent. It's a messy one. I'm loving this. Yes, the writing in this is really, really gripping. I really enjoy it. It's kind of genteel, but extremely fast-paced and like action-packed. I don't know how to properly describe that, I guess. Just, yeah, genteel, but gripping, somewhere in there. Whimsical, dark, everything in between. It's brilliant. I love the different relationship dynamics in this. There's lots of family dynamics that are very interesting. There's this sort of like romance brewing in the background, which is also intriguing. There's different types between like the sort of the gods and then the human side. It's cool. It's very cool. I would really like to read some more of Silvia Moreno-Garcia's work because I'm enjoying the writing a lot. I know Mexican Gothic has been on my list for a hot minute, but yeah, sorry about this, but we're going to finish this today, and hopefully my camera will actually film it when I finish a book, because it hasn't for this entire vlog, which is just this. It's cursed. It's cursed. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay. Very good. Goodness me. We finally finished. I feel like because I didn't read this super quickly, I probably rated it a bit lower. I gave this one 3.75 stars, and I think it would have been higher had I not been trying to force myself to read with a timer. I don't know what that is. I don't know what part of my brain that is. It just doesn't like it. If it's just like my Aquarius contrary stubbornness, it's like you're telling me what to do. I don't want to do it, even though I'm the one telling myself to do it. I don't know. I'm so sorry if this is your first introduction to my reading vlogs. Go watch another one. They're hopefully, I think, a lot more organized. This was exhausting, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it, but we finished. I loved the writing. It was so kind of fairy tale-esque, whimsical, dark, and gothic at the same time. The writing was beautiful. Again, it was that kind of, it was very simple, but it was also really well researched in terms of the history that was coming into play, and oh, this was lovely. This was just lovely, and I cannot wait to read more of this author's work. Whimsical, a fun fairy tale. So we read this one throughout this reading vlog. We gave up on the timer. The timer is gone. The timer has been axed. Okay, I'm gonna hold myself to it. I'm not doing another one of those reading vlogs for the rest of this year. Maybe we'll try again in 2026, who knows? But if things are going well, I don't want to risk my life falling apart based on these reading vlogs, and they are cursed. Bad things happen when I do these reading vlogs. Anyways, so we read that one. We did read Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. This was also just like a fun gothic YA. Loved. And then we had This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abasakara, and also fabulous. I think we had a really good roundup. I think a lot of, like, all of these were well written. They weren't just sort of like mass-produced, cheap and cheerful romantasy, which can sometimes be the vibe. That can be the mood sometimes, and sometimes it's not. I'm going to get ready for bed and do some vicious mood reading to cleanse my palate and just not think about filming a reading vlog for a second. This is coming out on Friday, so I think next Friday is when my next video is scheduled, and yes, Thank you for watching. If you want to give this video a like or subscribe if you're so inclined, ignore the quality of this one, but it does help as I grow my channel. And if you want to return for maybe some more organized reading vlogs, that could be fun. I feel like I have a people tell me I have a relaxing, calming persona, but I feel internally like chaos at all times. So I'm not sure, like there's a difference between like the audience maybe that I attract and maybe my internal dialogue or monologue here. They come together and here's what we've got. So you're welcome. I'd love to see you at this chat. I'd love to see you for future videos. I always say that the comments are my favorite. I love chatting with people about books. Have you read any of these? Any that you think I should be reading? Any recommendations or requests for the coming months? We are now in September. We've made it. But I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And thank you again for watching if you made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next one.